Hey Mexicans, welcome back to a new episode of WICSO Restarted. For today, we're going to be looking at a scenario where what if civilization started over, of course. So yeah, with that, we will begin. So, after the colonization of the Americas, Africa did end up being fully discovered after that. Wrong color. So yeah, with that being fully discovered, now the Europeans are going to do their own version of the Berlin Conference, but instead of the Berlin Conference, it's not going to be the Amsterdam Conference or anything. It's just going to be the Dublin Conference. Why Dublin? Because the Irish were the first to colonize America, so they have significance in this. So yeah, we will take a look at the colonial treaty. Okay, so in this colonial peace treaty, we only see one African country remain out of all of the original ones. That is the Carthaginians. But they lost a little bit of land to the colonial powers, but they decided to keep them around for like trade influences and stuff. Carthage did not like how Africa ended up being colonized by the Europeans, but they can't do anything about it because they let them survive. Whether that's going to be a good thing for the European powers, we will see eventually. But here's what's interesting: the blue team and the blue team and the red team were able to participate, but they only took the Egyptian parts because the Egyptian parts were one kind of a core thing, but two, it's like that's the only place they can go, and they want to make sure that they have their regional influence here good before they yeah. Also, yes, these two reds are the same color. But I think that I will change them just a little bit. You'll see that. Honestly, just to differentiate the red team from the Irish team. It's a better color, so I think I can agree with that. And then as for this team, I'll just give them this color despite the fact that they won't do a different thing. But I just like that. I just like to differentiate things. But anyway, yeah, the red and blue team have Egypt. Libya essentially goes to Rome. Carthage is alive. Morocco, West of Sahara go to Iberia. This whole part goes to Galicia. This whole entire colony region heads over to the Irish. This Somalian area and everything remains the same here. The brown team gets this thing, and then the Catalonians get this part. So yeah, the Percendians didn't get as strong as it is this WICSO. They're still strong. But I think the strongest colonial force is gonna go to either Ireland or the Dutch. I would give the slight edge over to the Dutch though. But regardless, eventually we do see Oceania itself get discovered though. And well, it's only gonna go two ways for these two. Let's take a look. And so yeah, the Persendians get the areas that are closest to them, but the rest of it does go to Korea. And so yeah. We will so yeah, the colonial influence game is done. But you see, these colonial factions are kind of fighting against each other too. Just because the European colonial gangs are different for like Persindia or like Korea's not that different from Europe, but there's some out like no actually there are some countries that straight up are against colonialism. Not gonna lie. But we do kind of see the green team here. After colonialism, we actually see these two want to reunite with the green team again. So this country and this country. So that is really interesting. They actually decided to reunite. Some nationalism and stuff. And maybe they were also economically weakened when they were off the green team, so they were like, yeah, make a join. This gives the green team a lot of its strongness back. A lot of it, anyway. Not fully, because, well, they still aren't as big as they used to be, which, if we remember, back in, episode 3, they looked like this before. They looked like this before they fully collapsed. This is what they looked like. They're not rebuilding that. This is not going to happen for a long time. But this right here is the green team right now. And they're rebuilding some of it. Not all of it, but they're rebuilding enough of it to the point where they come back into a little bit of the rankings. And, well, yeah, this green team is way more different than this green team. But then the other green team in episode 4, which is the one after the partitioning, this green team was significantly weaker. It could have been invaded by the red team if they haven't reunified these two things. So basically, yeah, this saved them. For now, anyway. But, yeah. That being said, I'm gonna end this video. Sorry for it being so short, but I wanna save like some events in this colonial world for like multiple episodes. So like I'm gonna try to keep the pacing a little slower in the colonial episodes, as the map will only experience like small changes and like regional invasions and maybe some collapses. Maybe. But yeah, with that being said, that'll end this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a new video. Peace out.